Hey guys, it's Creative Redundancy back again here with another video. And in this video, we're going to be using bags. Yes, bags. And we're going to be creating cordage with it, aka plarn. Now plarn is basically plastic yarn, and that's how you get the word plarn. Now also you don't need a plastic bag. Now you can do it with a lot of different plastic bags. A clear one like this one, or the grocery type of bags. Basically any type of bag that doesn't have a heat sealed, right? Like basically a chip bag won't work for this. Some other type of packaging material for like food or whatever may not work for this, but grocery bags, clear bags like these, like this one, will work pretty well. You'll also need a pair of scissors. Now you can actually do this with a knife if you had to, but it's a little bit easier with scissors. I'm going to use this grocery bag as an example here. Now, if you want to make plarn, you gotta check the bag for holes. If there's holes near the top where the handles are, it's okay. You can just trim that off. If there's holes near the bottom, it's okay because you can trim it off. But if there's holes in the middle, right, like large holes, like I have a little small hole right there, it should be okay. But basically, if you got big holes or big rips in the middle, basically it's not a good candidate for making plarn. However, you can make smaller strips of plarn if you wanted to. Alright, the first thing you want to do is take your bag, even it out like so. Now grab your scissors, kind of just barely below the handle, so about right there. Make sure you're cutting fairly parallel to the bottom of the bag. Now take the bottom of the bag and do the same thing. About 1 centimeter or so, quarter of an inch off the bottom here. Make sure it's fairly parallel to the top of the bag. Open it up. You might have something like this, right? So you might have to go back with your scissors and just cut that a little here. And basically you have a little tube of plastic right now. Now find that out. It helps if you put your foot or your knee onto it like I am right here. Spread it out so it's nice and flat again. Basically you want to start making 1-inch folds in. So something like this. So you'll have something like this. Now you want to make cuts that are perpendicular to the sides of the bag. So something like this. And their side too. Oh, actually their side. Very good. I'll just cut it just a little. So you'll have something like this. Now what you want to do next is cut it maybe about 1 inch. Now if you make the strips narrower, your plarn length will increase, but your but if you make it longer or wider, I mean, you'll make the plarn length shorter. So I go about an inch. And you want to cut it so it just cuts past this right here, just barely past it, so you would stop your cutting right around there. Alright, I'm gonna make the cuts now. You want the distance between each segment, each line that you're doing about the same length. So you want this to be the same length for this, and so forth and so forth. So you'll have something like this. Grab it from the end that you didn't cut and shake it out. You'll have something like this, so that looks like something like, wow, like this. Now, take your hand and push your hand through the little opening right here. Now, kind of lay it flat here. What you want to do is right about there, make a diagonal cut about right there. So basically you're starting from, well, let's consider this the bottom of the bag and that the top of the bag. From the top of the bottom of the bag, and make a diagonal cut about here towards that first slit right here. So something like this. Grab that end, pull it back towards you. Alright. Open it up a little. Basically you got something like this for right now. And basically you're just gonna keep making from slit to cut from slit to slit now. Adjusting the distance if needed, so you don't cut too narrow or too wide, or make the strip too narrow or too wide. So something like this, and just keep going on and keep doing it until you reach the end. And pull it back, like I said, towards your body again, so it doesn't interfere on you making the next cut. It helps to have fairly sharp scissors or a really sharp knife when you're doing this. Always laying it flat so you can actually visually see a line before you cut, right? You only want to cut once. Now at the end here, at the top of the bag, pretending that there's a slit up here, you just make a diagonal cut this way again. Since this is going to be a little bit narrower, I'm going to cut in a little this way to make it a little bit wider right here. So something like that. Alright, now you want to take both ends, right? Which most likely will be the little pointy ends. Put in one hand and just slide both of them through your hand. This is so you can actually find the middle point. Now, if you want to make a whole bunch of these, right, in advance, you can too. And put it around something like this, right? Like a roll or even speaker wire, old speaker wire kind of thing right here. You can put it around and just put a whole bunch of plarn around it. Now, if you want to actually make some cordage out of this, right? Something that has fairly good tensile strength for what it is, right? Basically, like I said, grab the end and just pull your way through so you can find the middle. Now, this is more or less the middle. You want to make a knot, like so. So basically now you have something to work with to create, well, to braid with. So I'm going to show how to make the zipper chain sinnet right here, which is basically what I'll be doing to create a higher tensile strength cordage from this plarn. So basically, you'll have something like this right now. Make a loop right here. Take the other end, which will be the right side. Go around that loop, alright? So it sticks in the, so it's behind here. Grab that from the back and pull it through the loop that you just well, the little turn that you just made. And pull that through. So something like this. Just pull it through. Right. Make a knot, and it'll be, and well, you'll be creating a knot right here. Push it down as close as you can to the starting knot that you made. Tighten it. Unlike making braiding with something like paracord or even jute twine, you can't pull really hard on when you're doing this motion. So basically you want to pull until it's nice and feels snug and then stop. Alright, now take that loop, right, the first loop you made, and pull this through, right? Pull this through. So now you have something similar to like a pretzel, right? Oh, actually, I have it on the wrong side. It should be on this side. So something like a pretzel. Stick your index finger through that loop that you're creating right here. Grab the knot area right here and pull the left side, in this case, to create a knot in there, like so. You might have to adjust it a little. down if necessary. So you'll have something like this. Now basically, you just keep doing it back and forth from left to right, left to right. So now, again, make a loop. Kind of looks like a pretzel. Well, it looks more like an A. Grab this, your knot area, right? Because this will create that braid. And hold it with your middle finger and your thumb, and pull from the right side this time. And just keep going back and forth on it. Now here's narrative. Spread your loop as wide as you can with your index and middle and thumb. Grab it, pull it through with your index finger on your air side, on your air side of that, well, your air hand. Middle finger, thumb, holding the knot area, which will be the braid area. Pull from their side, like so. Widen this, right? Spread your index and your thumb, right? Your thumb and your index finger are in between the loop, and spread it out. That will create the tension needed. And basically just keep going like this. You don't have to pull really hard, just enough so it's nice and snug. This right here, when you're pushing the loop apart, well, that helps a lot. And you just keep going and going and going and going with it. Like so. So I'll show it again. Create an A. Index finger, thumb, middle finger on the knot area, and pull from the other side. Spread it out like an alligator, right? Grab the other end underneath, pull it through. Hold it with your index finger on the opposite hand. Grab it like so. Pull. And just keep going and going and going and going until, well, pretty much you're near the end of the line. So basically this is what it'll start looking like. Unlike the individual strand, right, of plastic, which ain't very strong, I could pull this part easily. This right here is much tougher. Well, not tougher, but has more tensile strength right here. Alright, as you can see here, I'm almost done here, and it's been about 10 minutes since the last whole clip. As you can see, I'm almost done here. Now basically what you want to do as you start coming near the end, right, as you can see I'm coming near the end, the loops will become a little bit smaller. So if you have big hands, well, it might be a little bit more challenging, to say the least, but as long as you have 2 hands for this, you should be able to do this. You know, and most of your fingers, yeah, you should be able to do this. As you can see here, I'm coming near the end. I'm just gonna finish this for a few more off here. Now basically, like I just said in the previous clip, instead of making a narrow loop like so, right? Instead of doing this, right? Instead of making it like this, just pull the whole frame through and tighten it on the other side. something like this now. From one bag I got about almost 2 feet. Almost 2 feet of cordage. Now I'm gonna cut off the little ends right here. And at both ends, I like to make a little dot really close to the end of the line, so I can actually pull it or use it if need to. So something like this. And then at the beginning of the sinnet, I'm gonna do the same thing too. Making sure it's near the beginning of when I start the braid. So something like that. Clip the ends, clip this end I mean. Basically now you have plarn in a chain sinnet, or in this case a zipper chain sinnet, which will increase its tensile strength. Now, a line like this will slightly vary in the tensile strength, but the range is between, if it's slightly narrower, right? If you're making the strips to creating the part narrower, the tensile, it'll be longer, but the tensile strength will go down. If you make it wider, it'll be shorter, but the tensile strength will increase slightly. But something around that 1 inch strip, like I showed earlier in the procedure of making the plarn, will create, once it's in this zipper chain sinnet, we'll have about 15 pounds is the safe limit for its tensile strength. As I found in experimentation and testing, that at the 20-pound mark, it starts to sag. The plastic, it'll start to sag. But 15 pounds should be a safe range for something like this for its tensile strength. Any of the extra scraps from making the plarn, well, try to recycle them too, right? Most places will accept them, right? They're considered number 2 plastic. Now, I don't have it on this line, but if there's little pieces sticking out, well, you can take a lighter or a heat source and kind of warm it up, then just press it into the braid or the zipper chain sinnet. And of course you could daisy chain a whole bunch together, like I have here. And of course, like I said, you can make all sorts of different colors. You can even make a clear one too if you want to. Now this method of creating the plarn and creating the zipper chain sinnet, which the zipper chain sinnet can, wow, that's what I just showed you, can be expanded on with use of garbage bags, contractor bags, pretty much anything you can make a tube, a plastic tube kind of thing with. And the zipper chain sinnet, well, you can do that with pretty much any length of long line of cordage, where it be parachute cord, twine, jute twine, fishing line, vinyl, trail marking tape. So it goes on and on and on. Right here I got about 9 or 10 bags in here. So about, let's say, between 17 to 20 feet of plarn in a zipper chain sinnet. So if you enjoyed this video on plarn and creating a zipper chain sinnet, hit that like and thumbs it up. If you're new to my channel, hit that rectangular box that says subscribe. It should be in red, unless you're already subscribed, and then in that case, well, thank you for subscribing, and to my subscribers, thanks for viewing this video, leaving your comments, questions, or additional input or suggestions, right? Now, as the world changes, so must oneself. To reach a new level of skill and knowledge, one must practice. Because unfortunately, one person can't help everyone in this world. But one person, that includes me and you guys out in YouTube land, can help someone in this world. So, until the next time, guys, see you out. Peace.